All right, we are good. We're recording.
Okay, perfect. Well, hello, everybody. Good afternoon. So happy to have you here and continuing our Work Smart workshops. And today we have Zotero. So this is one of our citation managers that we do support and we help with here at the college, at the university. But I know that I speak a lot about this to our College of Medicine folks and faculty, as well as our students. It is very, very nice and handy software when you're talking about citation management, and it is something that will help you with your research. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about a couple of slides, and then we're going to get into some live demos and how to get this software installed on your computer. But before we get that, let's start our round of introductions. So I'm Francisco Fajardo, Assistant Director of the Medical Library here at FIU, and my co-presenters, they introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Holly Morganelli. I'm the Global Learning Librarian here.
And I am April Lafferty, and I am the hospitality librarian at the Hubert Library at BBC.
I'm at MMC. Yeah.
Yes, I should say I'm at MMC, so yes. All right, folks. So just to get us started here. So what is Zotero? It is a virtual filing cabinet of citations and references that you can reuse over and over multiple times. It is open source software. It sets it apart from the other products that you see out there because it was created and managed and pretty much, George Mason University put this out and it's been open source for quite some time. And we like it to be that way. And you'll see why, because it is free, and you'll hear a little bit about that a little bit later. But it is quite a dynamic citation generator. Thousands of different styles are included, and you could even add some that are not, part of whatever comes standard. Whether you're working on a manuscript, a research paper, or any sort of project, it really does save time. When it works with such things like Google Docs, as well as Microsoft Word, it installs on the command ribbon and where you could actually use it for in-text citations, create bibliographies, works cited page, what have you. Okay, so and also collaborating with groups is a big thing too, because since it does work with Google Docs, so you could share a document with colleagues or your classmates, and it does help with that. So let's talk a little bit about some of the advantages and disadvantages. Holly?
Yes. Okay. So, as with anything, yeah, there are advantages and disadvantages. So as far as advantages go, of course, it's free and open source. So that's a big advantage. And with the free version, you get 300 megabytes of storage space for on the cloud for free. And you only have to pay if you want more storage, like with many things these days. And that helps when you want to attach PDFs. I should say in my personal library, I ran out of storage for the free. So I either have to take off some of my lengthy PDFs that I have or start paying. And it's only $20 a year for 2 gigabytes more. And for six, it's $60 a year. And then $120 is unlimited. So it depends, how you like to do things and how much you're using. Maybe the unlimited might be worth it for you. Another advantage is collaboration. So there are unlimited virtually group libraries, Google Docs, as Frank said. There's a built-in PDF viewer, which I use a lot. There's screen capture, and it captures pretty quickly and in bulk, and it pulls in PDFs. There are tags, which is not unique to Zotero. And of course, it's compatible with Google Docs, not just Word. And that also pulls in PDFs quickly. And you can also export citations from other citation managers, which is very good. As far as the disadvantages of Zotero, again, well, the more storage does cost money. And as I said, maybe I just have a huge volume, but I don't think it takes that much really for it to fill up in the free version. Disadvantages, it's open source, so you can only get help and assistance on community forums, rather than, chatting with someone and having that one-on-one, um, better kind of customer service. And there's no one that you can call either. Yes. Or WhatsApp text. Um, and disadvantages are there's the Zotero web library, Zotero online versus the Zotero desktop. And you cannot write and cite if you only have the web library, if you only have Zotero online. You must have the desktop version to connect to Google Docs or to connect to Microsoft Word. Although, I use obviously the desktop version as well. And, I have a Mac, it's just an app, and I find it pretty convenient. You do have to sync the two, though. And you have to get set up. So you go to the Zotero homepage, log in, you can register for a free account, fill out a brief form, and then you'll be emailed instructions to confirm the account and how to download the Zotero connector on. Um, they have it for Chrome, Safari, Firefox, all of them, and you need to download that for Windows or Mac, and then download the desktop for Windows or Mac. Sorry, not the connectors for the browser, and the desktop would be for Windows or Mac. And it's all pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah, and I should note too, and thank you for that, Holly, that FIU does not pay for if should you need storage, FIU does not pay for that. That's
Oh,
all
yeah.
on you.
Yeah. Sorry.
We get that question all the time. Yeah, it's on you to pay for storage, but you'll be surprised what you get with 300 megabytes. Obviously, we do have a lot of, PDFs. It does take up space quite rather quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I should say that I kept saying mine ran out of space, but I think I have like entire books in PDF. So,
Good, good. So if you haven't done so already and you want to follow along with some of the live demos that we're about to start, definitely go to register at zotero.org so you can download the product and you'll see once you go in, you create your account or whatever, that you'll see a download button right there at the center and it'll automatically detect what operating system you're using and also what browser you're on because you want to install the desktop and also the browser connector, okay? And it's up to you what you want to use, whether it's Firefox, Safari, whatever. I'm a Chrome person, so I have it on Chrome, but it's really up to you. It's whatever your preference is, okay? But you should, if you want to follow along and do some of these things together with us, go to zotero.org to see about registering and getting the product installed. Okay. So we're going to have some live demos right now. And I'll hand it over to,
And that's where I come in.
yes.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Let me just see. All right, let me just drag this over here. You should be able to see the library website. Can you see the screen of the library homepage?
Yes, now we
Okay,
do.
great. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a demonstration to show you how to use Zotero and actually how to grab citations from library databases. I'm going to show you how to grab it from websites and also from like newspapers and everything like that. I'm going to show you how to pull it from the databases, but also it's a little bit different from the websites. As already
Can I ask
mentioned,
a quick question?
sure, go aheed.
Is it any way better than EndNote? Because many people they use EndNote, but I use Zotero. I used to use EndNote in the past many years ago. So, is there any particular advantage of Zotero?
yes. Well, one disadvantage, I guess, is the customer service and getting technical support. So I think that's the biggest one, I would say.
So, EndNote is also open source, or it is like
No, and Node is,
No.
yeah, and Node, the parent company is Clarivate. They have like a customer service like
oh, okay, it's
dedicated for
more
that.
established in a way. Okay,
Right. But Zotero is really easy to use. As you
yeah,
Yeah.
see
yeah,
with your user, it's super easy to use.
yeah.
Um, there's just some things that, paid versus open source, but I'm a little biased. I love Zotero. I've used it for so long. So
Yeah, yeah. I also
yeah,
like Zotero, yeah, because
yeah.
last week I attended the EndNote presentation, and yeah, so that's all. That's fine.
Okay.
Also,
Thank you.
Oh,
another
and then another advantage is the groups. compared to EndNote. And so I'll show you the groups. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And one thing I was going to say is that it very much depends on if you are working on a collaboration with somebody else, what they're using. So if you all have to agree on the same citation manager, if
Mhm.
everybody's using Zotero, then you have to use Zotero. You couldn't switch back and forth between them. So that would be a benefit if all of your collaborators are using this product. Um, Okay, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little brief demonstration. As I said before, you can pull the cool thing about the citation manager is that you can pull citations from pretty much anywhere. There's, as with everything, there's a few different ways to do it. The easiest way to do it is using the Zotero connector, which I have here. You just have to install it onto your browser. And you'll notice when you go onto a regular page, I already have it installed. You see up here, it shows as a little icon. It's a Z. And pay attention to that icon because when I go into the different pages, that's going to change depending on the type of page that I'm on. So right now I'm just on Google, and so it's a Z. But if I go onto the library website, which is over here, now it's changed to the little page icon. So depending on what you're on, it's gonna change. So what the connector can do is it will pull the information off of this page and directly put it into Zotero. So if you're surfing on the web, if you're on Google Scholar, it will automatically pull it into there. So I'm going to do a demonstration on a few different ways that you can pull it into there. The first way I'm going to show you is from the library databases. I'm going to go into our database. It's actually an EBSCO product. It's called Academic Search Complete. And I'm going to do a quick search in there. And of course, you can do any search. Today I'm going to use the keywords artificial intelligence and then just do a search. Okay, and so you'll notice when I did that, the little icon that's at the top of for Zotero changed to a little file. And the reason for that is because if I wanted to, I could click this little connector and you should see a pop-up. Are you guys able to see the pop-up that comes up? Okay, you should be able to see the pop-up. And this is all of the articles that are on this page. So if I wanted to, I could go ahead and select all of them and automatically send those to Zotero. Or I can pick and choose between some. Or if I wanted to, I could just select one article. Let's select this one here, America's Artificial Intelligence. So we're going to click there. If I wanted to, I could go up here to the Zotero connector and grab just this article, and that would send it to Zotero. Or I could, if I didn't have the Zotero connector, if you were on a different computer or something like that, you could always go to the Cite button. I think it's under Cite here, and click on Export Citation. And there is this file called the RAS file, which is the Zotero, which is like a general citation file. And that is the one that you want to use for Zotero. If you don't have that Zotero connector, you can always look for the RAS file and download that, and that will send it to Zotero as well. So that's just another way to do it. My recommendation would be to get this connector and use that because it's super easy to use. I've already sent some articles into Zotero. I was working on this earlier, so I already sent it. So I just want to show you really quickly what it looks like, and then I'll do a demonstration from some of the other databases. So I'm going to go into my web library. This is what the web version of it looks like. Frank is going to go over the desktop version a little bit later. So this is the web library. Oh no, I'm not logged in. Uh-oh, hold on. Give me just 1 second. Let me just grab the login. I was logged in earlier and then it logged me out. It's green. Here it is. And then
Does anyone have any questions so far?
I do
No?
real quick.
Sure.
So when we connect it like this and use the icon, does it send over the actual document there too so we could highlight it? Like if we were to upload the PDF?
If it's available, yes. It also brings it into the citation if it's available.
Okay.
But double check that it does, but you'll see in a minute when you'll see like that'll come through. Yeah, because I see some of them there that that April brought in. Yeah, you'll see.
Yeah,
Okay,
some of
thank
these have
you.
actually, you'll notice over here the little PDF files. Those are the ones that have the file attachment right to it. So you could actually go right into it and just get it directly from there. Um, but other ones you could actually go and add an attachment if you wanted to. You could grab the PDF if it didn't automatically import it from wherever you're pulling it from. You could go ahead and add it there if you wanted to. So there are ways to edit this as well, which is good and bad because you have to be careful if you start editing it, and then you could really change something big. But it's really helpful to be able to do that. All right, so now that I'm back on track, I'm all logged in. So if I wanted to grab this citation, I could just click on the little Zotero button. I'm going to save it to something called demo, which is a file that I have created within Zotero. So now I should be able to go back to Zotero and find it if I just click on demo. Now I don't remember what it was called. America's Artificial Intelligence. Let's see. Yes, it's the second one that's listed on here. So you'll see it automatically pulled it in there. And then it gave me over here on the right-hand side all of the information about it that it automatically pulled in, including the abstract. This one did not pull in oh, it did. It did pull up a PDF. So we do have that in here. But if you wanted to,
Oh.
you could update information if it wasn't already there. You could, do edits here, add notes, tags, and attachments and all that. All right, so that's how you would pull it in from a database. Let me just show you from one other database.
I'm not seeing your screen anymore.
Interesting. That's weird. Wonder
Yeah.
if it went away. Is that for everybody?
I'm
You
looking
can,
at the library still, the America's Artificial Intelligence Action Plan.
yeah,
Okay,
okay.
I don't know why I can't see it. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. And then I'm back. I clicked on the Zotero page. You can see that, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Just checking. Okay. So let me go back to the main page. I'm just going to show you from a different resource what it looks like from there, but any database is going to pretty much work the same, especially if you have that connector. Now I'm in a ProQuest database. I'm going to search for artificial intelligence. Artificial. Let's just do artificial intelligence, do a search for that. And then once again, if I wanted to, I could just click on the little Zotero connector up here. It's going to grab all the articles that are on the page. If I want to, I could select all of them and export them. I could pick and choose. Or if I wanted to just do an individual one, I could click on it. And then I could also, and notice also how the icon changed when I clicked into it individually. It looks like a little piece of paper now instead of a file. So that means that it's the actual paper. So if I click here, it would save it directly into it. And I just sent it there. So it's going into it now. And yeah, you can send as many as you want up to that 300, what is it, 300 megabytes, and then it gets full. So that's how you would do it from the databases. I was also going to show you from a third one. Let's see, PubMed, but they all do look very similar to each other. Let's just go back to PubMed. Let's see. There we go. And then here, we're going to do our keyword search, add it in there. We can click the little thing and then it'll directly export it. And then that's how we do it. Now this also works on, so this is all from library databases, but let's say you're just out on the internet, you're just surfing out there and you wanted to pull something from there. You can also do that. This works with Google Scholar. We'll just go into Google Scholar really quick. Do a search for artificial intelligence. And then from here, if I wanted to, I can also click the little file and you'll notice that it has selected everything that's listed on this page. I can do the same thing as I did in the databases, select any one of them, and then send these to Zotero. Or if I wanted to just choose one, then I could do that as well. I could just send this one article to it. And then finally, if I wanted to do a search from like a newspaper website, or if I'm just searching on the internet, let's do New York Times. And I don't know if you guys are all aware of this, but as if you're affiliated with FIU, you have free access to the New York Times through the library, so you can access it that way. But if we go into the New York Times, let's pick an article that's in here. You can select it, and let's just send this one over to Zotero. We're going to send it to the demo. It should already be there. And let's go into Zotero and make sure it's there. That one was called Trump. Let's see how Trump, yeah, see, and then we have it listed right here on the website, on the page. So you should be able to find all of them listed on here.
Yeah, and one of the nice things, April, I saw like if you all paid attention to the little icon, it turned into a little newspaper roll. So that was really cool that it does that. And see how easy it is with the connector?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
right
makes it so
there.
simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love how it changes the little icon. It's definitely paying attention to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so now that we have that, and I've already kind of showed you how the online library works, I'm going to turn it over to Holly in a second, but just know that this is what it will look like. As I said before, when you download everything, it goes directly into your library, and then you can create folders if you're working on specific projects, and you can put it into those folders. So now I'll turn it over to Holly, and she can talk about how the groups work.
Yes. Okay. So groups, it's a really great feature of Zotero. And again, it's an unlimited number. So let me share, replace current share.
Oh, let me stop my screen sharing. Sorry.
I'm thinking because this is my laptop was being fixed, there might be a problem with screen sharing. I just realized that now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't think I can without admin. I'm really sorry.
Do you want me to
Oh, mm,
reshare my screen?
maybe could if I can talk about it if you can just bring it up because I was just going to create a group in our green library.
Yes.
Shoot.
There you go.
So, oh my goodness. So the first kind of word to the wise with the groups is that they're very easy and simple to use, as you'll see, but you want to be careful with who has editing privileges on them because someone could come in if it's completely public and open and delete things or edit your library. So there are three types of memberships with groups. And by the way, April, if you could show where the groups are on the web library, it just says group next to web library on zotero.org.
Mhm.
And then from there, click on groups, and then you can create a group. So I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. In the groups tab, you go to, once you're in groups, in the groups tab, go to create new group, and then choose a name like
Who could we?
Holly's group. I don't know.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Holly's group. Okay, and then you choose the membership privileges. So the first one is the public open membership. Anyone can edit your library. Um, I'm not really sure why people, I mean, actually, I can imagine why people choose it, but I don't think that you would necessarily. I wouldn't. And then there's a public closed membership, which makes a bit more sense. So anyone, anywhere on the web can view your library, but you have to invite them to edit it. So they can't mess with your library. And then there is the private group, the private membership. Only invited people can view or edit your library. And it won't be searchable, it won't come up in any generic searches. So to invite members, you go to the Zotero Groups tab and then click Manage Members.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and create the group as a private
Oh,
membership.
sorry. Okay, I'll give you time. I'm going quickly because I don't.
And then save settings. Okay.
Yes, and then save the settings. So,
I don't know why I didn't change the screen.
oh, it's because I think it's because you have to choose the public closed for group type,
Um,
and then file editing would be okay.
Public closed. Okay. Oh, I
Yeah,
see. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
And then hit save. Okay.
Yes.
Let's
So
see.
that should be good. Or go to file editing. Yeah,
Sorry.
that's fine. Public closed membership. Here's a private one. Only members can view and edit. Only admins can edit. I think that's what you should add. And then if you want to make everyone in the group an admin, you can manage the settings and do that. Yeah. So one of those won't save because it doesn't really apply, I guess. Yeah. Because for any member um to edit, I guess it would have to be a public open. Yeah. So that's what it is. So if we go back to my group, sorry,
Let's see if we can find it back here. Let's see, groups.
or you could just go into any group, I guess, at this
Oh,
point.
here it is. Okay.
Okay.
Holly's group. There we go. All right.
Okay. So we might want to invite someone, right? So if you click on manage members, group
No.
settings, Holly's group, members one, click on the group settings, and then it should be manage members, member settings, send more invitations, member invitations.
Okay. All right.
So now maybe you could put your email address. Is that okay? Or Frank's,
That's fine.
and then invite yourself to my special group. It's going to be a tropical botany group. So I don't know. No, it's going to be an AI group. Okay. We'll be working on the AI workshop in this group. Okay, so now you've sent the invitation and you can enter more email addresses at any time. And then once the person opens that email and accepts the invitation, you can control their role. So that's when you can make them an admin. And that's when you can give them privileges to edit the library. That's how that works.
Okay. I
And
won't do it now so that it
no,
just,
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory there. You don't have to show that.
Mm-hmm.
And then non-public groups will disappear. Oh, so maybe I should have made mine private, but non-public groups disappear when logged out. That's because the other two settings are both public, so people can see those anywhere and can look at what you're doing, even if they can't edit. But the private groups are totally closed. So, it's a little bit like the settings in Google Docs, for example, Google Drive, anything like that. It works pretty much the same way. So I think that's it for the groups. I apologize for my laptop failure and okay. And now we're going to look at the desktop interface. And Frank is going to demonstrate this for us and explain it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All these great segues here. Thank you. Before I show the desktop version, are there any questions from anybody that's any of the folks here on the call so far?
The connector, does it work better in any particular browser? Or is the same, like Chrome versus?
I mean, I'm a Chrome user. I've just been so used to using Chrome, but I hear a lot of folks that say, oh, it works great and just the same as in Firefox too. There was a time where Zotero had a bit with developing the connector for the Edge. I
Okay.
guess it was something with Microsoft for some time, but now I think it's working well. But I mean, from what I've heard, a lot of folks, oh, they like it in Chrome or even with Safari too. So yeah, it really depends on what you use, for your browser. But I think it works well,
Okay,
yeah,
so
with
it
Chrome.
works pretty well with the more common browsers.
Right, right,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, because they developed for Safari, for Edge, Firefox, and for Chrome. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's so easy to use. That's probably the best, like April was saying, that is the best way of getting stuff in. It's so quick, and you don't have to, it's a second. It's a second. But just to show you what April just did online in the web library, it should mimic exactly what you have in the desktop client, what you've installed on your computer. So I'm just going to share here. This is the Zotero desktop. This is the actual program. And exactly what April did on the web library, that's exactly what you see here in the desktop version. Okay. Remember that if you're going to use, and I'll demo in a little bit, if you're going to use like the Google Docs or Microsoft Word, you have to have this installed on your computer, okay, in order for it to work. So that demo folder that she created is right here, along with the different references that she pulled in the different citations. So you'll see here, just like she was showing in the web version, here is once you click on the citation, this is the metadata, the information about that citation. And this is also a good time where you want to maybe, if you have to correct something or something that's missing, like a volume number or an issue number, this is probably where this is where you can make those changes right here, okay? Because sometimes, depending on the citation style, including, for instance, you might have the volume, but you're missing an issue or the page range. You can make changes here, okay? Or the URL, as well as the abstract of something, all that stuff. This is where you want to take a look and see that it's there. And of course, once you go in, you can see the different, the attachments, such as the PDF that it brought in. And the full text is right here with the viewer that you could see the actual PDF that's also there too as well. Okay, you could actually go through all the pages there, right? And you can make tags here on the side. There's a little navigation bar on the side there. You could also make, tags or different annotations onto the actual PDF. That's available there. That's a feature. Okay. Remember that when you install the desktop client, the first thing you want to do is sign in with that username and password that you created. So when you do that, you want to go to Edit, right? And then under Settings, here under Sync, this is where you want to link the account, whatever that you have, like say whatever it's on the web or whatever that you've installed on, you created here on the desktop version, and then sync and make sure that these two things are checked off. Sync automatically and sync the full text content. Okay. So that's important. And making sure that your library is synced at all times so it reflects anything that you did on the web, that you see it on the desktop, and vice versa. Okay. There is a little sync button here on the side with the arrows going in a circle. That's a sync that it's doing that. It should do it automatically, but making sure, it does have that. So here are some of the citations that were brought in. So this is one of the ones from the database. Here is the newspaper article. Okay, that it knew. So for instance, here it said web page, but this is probably where you want to go ahead and change it to newspaper article, right? Make that, fix it up, do it here. This is where you want to do that. Okay. And as well, you could do that same thing also too in the web library too as well. But here it is, all of that exactly how it's supposed to look. Okay. So now we have the desktop, looks just like the web library. Let's see about the magic. When you're working on a manuscript, on that Word document in a Google Doc, what does that look like? Okay, so let me go ahead and stop my share. I'm gonna go and move this. This is the part that everyone they're sold on it once they have it installed. So everyone can see this is a Word document. This is a sample document. Don't laugh at the title. Mickey Mouse Zotero test, right? So a couple of the things that, here's our document. We're ready to start writing. We've written something and we're ready to put in some citations, some references. So here, let me point out, because you've installed that software on your desktop, and if you have also Office, it's going to install on the command ribbon, which you see up on the top, right? So clicking, making sure Zotero's there. And this is what it's going to look like in the command ribbon. So I want to place the cursor where I want to put that reference in. Go ahead and click on Add Edit Citation, right? And you're going to see a little pop-up window that's going to come up. Let me see if I could bring it over, because this is the part that, so I'm sharing my screen. Can you see the little pop-up window? I just brought it over. Okay. That little pop-up window is going to come over. You're going to see it pop up in the background. And then go ahead, and this is where, you type in the name of the author, the title of the article, what have you, right? You go ahead and you type that there. I had this one selected from before in the library, so here about the newspaper article, and I have my citation there ready to go. So go ahead, click on there, and then add it. And right there, I am using a different citation. So this is, it just added it right there. And you could always change the citation style by going to Document Preferences, and that's another pop-up window that's going to come over, that's going to pop up. It's going to look like this, right? I was using NLM Vancouver, right? But the assignment calls for APA, so I can go ahead and I can make that change right there. And it's going to change it there, but yeah, that has to be fixed a little bit here, but like, let's go ahead and change it to AMA, which is the one that we use at the medical school most often, right? Use a superscript in numerical order. And at the same time, you can add edit the bibliography. So as you're writing your paper, you have a bibliography or works cited page right there. It does it for you automatically. You don't have to go ahead and go through the citation manual. It does it for you. Okay, so I see some smiles and some eyes opening up. So I guess it's where I'm selling the product, right? It does it so it's so easy and convenient. You don't ever have to think about like, oh, I have to go ahead and change it. So, and then there it is. That's the magic. Voila, right? And you can go back and change the citations. Maybe it's something that I need to do it in an MLA, which is the other one that the undergraduates usually use. So in-text citation MLA, right? There it goes. It'll change it for you in an instant. Okay. So again, I'm going to go back to AMA just to show you and see, it'll do it just in a second. Okay, so but what allows that to happen is code, all this that you see here, these are codes or what we call field codes, right? The bibliography as well as the in-text citation. So making sure when you're going to submit an assignment, you make two copies, one with these codes and one that's with static text. How do you do that? So you go here to unlink citations, and you're going to see a little pop-up window, a warning that says, it looks like this: removing field codes will prevent Zotero from updating citations and bibliographies in this document. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes or no? So you always want to save two copies. Why? Let's say you get corrections on a paper, right? Or a manuscript you're editing. You have to go back and make some changes. You want to have that copy that has all those field codes in Zotero so you can make those changes easier, okay? And then, you could start, making those corrections and then save another copy with the static text, okay? Any questions about that? Because I know that kind of trips up a little some people sometimes.
Yeah, so I understood this, but like say in this particular citation accessed on March 11, that has to be removed, right? So that you have to do manually, right?
Correct. That's where
Okay.
you would go to your library, to your citations over there in either the web or your desktop version, and you make a correction going back to those fields in the actual citation and remove that if you need to. Okay.
Oh,
But also, you need to double check with the citation manual if that is something that is required by the citation or the journal that you're submitting to.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Any other questions?
No, that's it.
Okay, okay. So it does do a lot of that magic. It's very, very cool. So if you're working on a Word document, this is the way to go. It just saves so much time instead of doing it the old-fashioned way, right? Yeah, and if you're working on a large paper, this is the way to go because it takes a lot of time and effort, to manage all those citations and references together. But it doesn't stop here. Let's say you're collaborating with other folks and groups. So this is where we want to see about going into, let's say, a Google Doc. See what does that look like. So I'm going to stop my share and I'm going to open up, let me share. So right here is a Google Doc. I'm collaborating with other folks on this document. Here's another little sample paper that I have. I want to go ahead and I want to, again, start working on citations. I pulled some stuff in as April already created. Here I go. Again, here also on the Google Doc, the Zotero extension was installed. That usually comes in when you download the connector, right? You'll see Zotero also appear there in the Google Doc and making sure that that's there. If not, you have to make sure that you could also download the extension if you want to. If it doesn't come in, but usually it does when you download the connector, okay? So clicking on Zotero, the same functions as you saw in Microsoft Word, add edit citation, all right? It's going to ask for authorization that you're okay with allowing permission for the library to come in, right? So you'll see something, a little the little window here. It's going to pop up. Here's my little pop-up window again, right? I'm going to go ahead but this time, let me see if I can find another item. What's another author there that I want to see? So artificial, let's see, let the typo, type in another one. So here's one that I guess that was brought in from the library. So again, I want to use this one. Maybe this is one that I want to use, right? Go ahead and click the arrow. Let's add that citation. And right there, that's the in-text citation for MLA, I believe. But again, just like in the Word document, I can go back to my Zotero command thing and I can edit the citation style and change it under document preferences. And you're going to see another pop-up window that's going to come up. It's a little bit slow on the online today. It usually is not, but I wonder if something, let me see. Here's my little pop-up window again. I'm going to switch it now to AMA. Go click OK. And there it does it. Just in a matter of seconds. And just like in the Word document, I can go ahead and add and edit the bibliography. It's going to do, it's thinking it's doing its thing there. And right there, it's doing it. Google Docs, Microsoft Word, so easy to use. And it does it there in a matter of seconds. Yeah. Any questions about that using in Google Docs? Okay. All right. So now we could talk about that. One of the things that you could do also when you have, I'm going to stop sharing. Let's say you want to see about looking and making sure that all your references are okay. You can create a one-off bibliography if you want to and kind of see and check if you want. It's a very easy thing to do. So whether you're on the web or also on the desktop client, I'm going to go ahead and share that here. Let's say I have all of my document. I want to see about creating a bibliography to make sure that everything is okay. And again, this is where you make those edits. If you need to remove something or add something, I'm going to go Control A. And then when I right click, I'm able to create a bibliography from the items that are highlighted. Okay. So when you do that, you can just go ahead, find the citation style that you want to use, whether it's AMA, APA, right? And then save as an RTF file, which that will generate or open up a Word document, and you could see all of your citations, everything that you've done in that style, just making sure that everything is going to look okay when you submit the final product. So that's something that's up to you that you could do too. So that's something that's kind of nice, creating those one-off bibliographies, just to check, that everything looks good right before you submit it. So that's another thing that you could do also from the desktop or even the web, I believe, too, as well. Okay. All right. So that's another function that we have there with the desktop. So now, April, we want to hand it off and show, a little bit how you can incorporate this in using AI too as well. So talking a little bit about Research Rabbit here.
Yes. So I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with the AI tool called Research Rabbit, but it's really, if you haven't, I highly recommend that you go and use it. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen, and I will do a little demonstration for you. So Research Rabbit, let me just pull it over here. Can everybody see it? It says Research Rabbit in the top left corner. No? Yes. Yeah. Okay, great. I just moved it over. So, all right. So Research Rabbit is a tool. It's a really great tool that helps you to find more information about articles. So let's say you find something that you really like, and you want to find similar articles or anything like that. You can actually find it in here, do a search in here, and it will map it for you across many different locations on the online. Um, and so this is really helpful if you're doing a literature review or if you're just trying to find more information about something. And the reason that we're talking about it now is because this works really seamlessly with Zotero. So what you could do is in Zotero, you can create a library, and then from Zotero, you can pull your library out and you can actually upload it in here. And if you want to do more research on any one article, you could potentially do that. So let me just go into my libraries up here. You click on library. And I created a demo library earlier, but if you wanted to add articles from Zotero, if there's something that you wanted to do more research on, there's a couple of ways you could do it. You could just go and you could just type in the name of it. You could type in a keyword from there, but you can also go into your library, go down to Zotero, choose the library that you want to pull it from. I'm going to choose demo, and then it should, if all works well, import some articles for you. So I had already done this earlier, so it's not going to pull in more articles. It looks like it's just going to be pulling in one extra article that I downloaded into Zotero. But this is the article. If you click import, you should be able to find it now on this page. And I think I have to go over here and actually drag it into my file because I created folders for it. So now it should be right here. So now if I wanted to do more research on this, if I click on it, let me see. Let me just click. You can choose. I can't see it because it's on my screen. Hold on. Let me just move my screen out of the way. If you click on it, now you get this pop-up box that come over here, and it says dive deeper into this article. Of course, there are no similar articles to this one. You have to find one. We have to find one that has similar articles. Let me find one here. Okay, so here, this one here that we just found. Nope. There were some. Okay, here we go. This one here has similar articles. There are 616 articles that are similar to it. It's also been cited 12 times. So if I click on the similar articles, it will do this mapping for you to show you other articles that are related to it. And it puts it on a graph based on how many citations there are based on those, and also how recently it was published. So if it was like the ones on this side, of course, are older, and then we've got the newer ones over here. The one right here, this is our seed. So this is the article that we're doing the research from. But if we click on any one of these, we can find similar articles. This will show us similar articles. It'll show you to dive deeper. You can find other articles that are related to it. And you can also save it to your collection. And then from here, you can actually download these back into Zotero. So you can go back and forth from these. And this is such a helpful tool. And there's different ways to visualize this too, depending on what kind of a learner you are. So I kind of prefer this page where I can see the list, but I can also see the map and then also information about it. But if you prefer just the list, you can do that. You can just see the map. So it kind of depends on what you want to do. And so if I find something that I'm interested in, I can click on the Save To. I'm going to choose that demo collection. And then from there, I can go back to demo. Or from here, I can actually, I think I have to go back to the library. And I should be able to take it and then export this back into Zotero. I can download it and export it to Zotero. So you should be able to open it in Zotero also and have the citations there. So this is a really great way of integrating another AI tool into doing your research. So there's lots of different tools that are out there for you. And yeah, so I don't know if anybody has any questions about that or anything, or if there's anything else that I could go over.
Is there anything specific that you want us to kind of touch upon or look at or to whatever that we covered?
Hi. Yeah, I'm curious about how to modify like the settings for storage. So right now I've been using like just the free storage option, and I want to know if there's ways to like modify it so things don't automatically get synced and saved. So that way I can kind of just keep certain texts saved on there and others not, so I don't kind of hit my storage limit. Not sure if that's something you guys know how to do or can go over.
Well, I know for it, so when you're on Zotero, there's the update storage, if you want to purchase more storage, but then also when you go into your settings, I believe on the desktop client, there is a way that you can like not have it sync or bring in let's say PDFs or something like that. That's just the citation automatically. There is that setting. Remember I showed the two little boxes that you check off?
Yeah.
That's you might want to uncheck that. Yeah.
And that's for, yeah, that setting that you showed us, that's for each individual attachment that we had, right?
Correct, correct. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I'm glad. Any other questions? Well, I hope that we made your lives easier, like, writing a paper or getting a manuscript ready. I know Dr. Mollick has used Zotero quite a bit in the past, and so it's fairly easy to use. And definitely, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any one of us. Very happy to help you out, setting it up, how to do stuff. So this is going to be very good. Yeah. So we got a question in the chat here. So Edward. Sorry I missed it, but does Research Rabbit have a free version or do we have to pay to use it?
That's a good question. There is the version that I was showing you is the free version. There is an upgrade, and it basically is more advanced search settings while you're in it. So if you want to be able to search by, like get a little bit more nuanced instead of just searching by the author's name, then that would be the upgrade. It doesn't get very nuanced in there. So that would be the difference at this point.
Yeah, I remember a time when it was free, but like everything with AI, there's now like, oh, you get this much, and then there's a premium version or a plus, right? Everything is a plus or a platinum or something or other. Yeah.
Right. And it's they give it to you for free. Yeah, they give it to you for free and then they're like, "Oh, psych, we're going to take
Psych,
that
there
back."
you go. Exactly. But it's a nice tool. I show this to students when we talk about Research Rabbit, at least at the med school. They say, oh, there's not enough literature on this topic. And I go, really? Can we look at Research Rabbit? And it's like, look at this. Similar articles, it's a similar articles feature basically, like in PubMed or like something like Embase or something. Yeah. But I love the visualization, how it just maps it to all these different publications. That's such a nice thing, a nice way of seeing that, the visual representation of it. Any other questions or comments?
I'm gonna play with the tools and see if I get any questions and I'll get back to you.
Good. Well, you know how to reach me, Carla. So she does. Like
I
Carla's
do. Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, but especially, when you're working like on large papers, especially at like a master's
Yes.
program or something, it's a lot of organization of that, and this just makes it so much easier for you. Yeah.
And I am so out of like I've been out of for a long time. So
Yeah.
this is all new to me, but it's
Yeah.
amazing what can be done now.
It's gonna help you, definitely. Oh
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, once you get used to it, and once you start playing around with it a little bit, you're like, "Oh, wow, I didn't even know it could do that." It's
Yeah.
pretty cool, all the different things it can do.
Yeah, and I will say this too, like one of the standout advantages is that connector that installs on Chrome to pull those citations. That is so easy with one button instead of, because you are able to send the other way with the RIS format. That's a nice, it's that you have multiple ways of getting those citations in basically, right? But that connector, that's a nice feature. Yeah, yeah.
You just have to
Yeah.
make sure that you, because every now and then they do upgrade what is, not the upgrades, yeah, you have to make sure you download the changes.
Right. Yeah, and it's good that you mentioned that because so before we were working on this workshop, um, Zotero was version 7, now it's version 8. So they had a big update recently. So we just did that. Yeah. So yeah. One other thing that I'll probably say, I guess, before we close or anything, I know there's a temptation to probably like download EndNote and other citation managers. Keep in mind that whenever you download any of these files that are IRS, that's the universal file format for like citation managers. Those, if you have both, there might be like they might fight each other to open up that file. That's another thing, you don't want programs competing for the same file because it's happened to me in the past.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
One quick question. When you download as a RIS, right? That's you call it I. So
yes,
then
RIS.
you just click on that, and does it automatically get into Zotero, or you have to do something with this?
No, it should automatically open up to Zotero. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. But let's say you have like an EndNote installed too. Sometimes it's happened before where I had both, because I used to teach both and stuff that would fight each other to see which one would open up that file.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much, everybody. That was great. Um,
Glad.
Yes,
Yes,
thank you
thank you.
guys and Gail.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank
okay,
you.
bye,
Thank you so
everybody.
much.
Thank you. This was really helpful.
Yeah.
Glad. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you very soon, Carl.